Hey everyone, this is Millennial Investor. I apologize for the long delay in my last video. It's been a while since I've done anything on Lending Club and Prosper, but I hope to do something probably in the next few weeks. This video though is 2018 in review for me, my financial status as of right now, and I just kind of want to review some things for the year and share that with you because I'm pretty open to sharing that stuff. So first of all, here is the last 6 months of my net worth. It has a breakdown of my different accounts over here, and then the month it happened in, and the current value of each account. Now, my goal for 2018 was to be at 130,000, and I reached that in July, which is awesome. And I'm like, oh, I'll start with 2019 goals. But then somehow, even though it was going up at the start, it then started, nothing really happened for like 3 or 4 months, and then it just dropped. So even though my goal was 130,000, I ended a little shy, but because on average I was about there, I I'm just saying that I hit my 130,000 goal for the year. Now, that was an increase of $26,254 or roughly 25.5% from the previous year. So pretty good. Most of that was investments because the market was down for the year. So other than things that give you guaranteed interest, my other accounts were kind of dragging. And green means it went up, red means it went down, yellow means it stayed about the same, in case you wanted to like try and interpret this a little bit more. Okay, so in terms of financial mistakes, I always like reviewing these things. One of the first is that I bought clothes items and some other small things, probably $20 or less item kind of deals. And instead of returning them if I didn't like them or if they didn't fit, I just tended to donate them to Goodwill. And that's great, donating things is awesome. But had I not, I could have probably, I don't know, saved about 200 or so dollars on those items. I paid a couple banking fees, but this was pretty early on. I was pretty good about it, so probably another 40 or so dollars there via banking fees. Definitely want to try to cut back on that. There were a few checks I held on for 3 or 4 months, and in all honesty, it might have been good for me to hold on to those checks because the market dipped there. But most of the time, it's good to just put it in the market, just invest it, or so that it's gaining interest. So holding on to checks 3 or 4 months, not that great. And then lastly, even though this was closer to probably 4 and not the 5, I was still eating fast food about 4 to 5 times a week, and I definitely want to cut that number down because that's too many times per week. Okay, in terms of financial victories, I continued investing and I did not waver. So I know the market was going down and up and all kinds of things, but when it was doing bad, I just, didn't look at it and I kept investing. And when it was doing great, I looked at it and I was all excited, but I kept investing. That's the main thing. I worked extra shifts and weekends whenever possible. I transferred my money from an HSA that was earning me 0.5% of interest to one that's now earning me 3.3%. And when you have about $10,000 in your HSA, that's a pretty big jump there from $50 a year to $330. And that's interest free if used for medical things. Okay, I bought my plane tickets early. I did 4 flights this year, and by buying them early, I saved hundreds of dollars. My back tire in my car got punctured earlier this month, or last month, I guess. And because I had good tires and I have roadside assistance with my insurance, the whole process probably took 1 hour to get my tire replaced and repaired and all that, and it cost me nothing. It was all taken care of, and it cost me nothing. So having good tires with a good warranty, which mine have like 90,000 miles on them, and then roadside assistance with your insurance can save you a lot of money. Because if I didn't have those two things, I was probably looking at like a $200 to $400 cost. And then pulling out of Lending Club Prosper, I do like Lending Club, I do like Prosper, but as a more like experienced investor, I know that they're great for like starting you off on your investing journey, but now it's just like too much work for a 5 to 6% return. And I know some of you are like, well, I get 12%. Well, if you do get 12% and it's past probably a year and a half, then make a video and link me to it. I will watch that video to like see this and see what your strategies are, because 5 or 6% is too much work for what I'm returning or what I'm getting back. And then of course keeping my costs low as possible. So I review my insurance, I review my phone bill, my rent, everything. And if there's better rates out there, then I try to pursue those rates. So that's how I do it, and avoid those monthly fees. Okay, the best purchases from 2018 for me was a pressure cooker. I'm not the best chef, but with a pressure cooker, almost anything I make tastes good. So it was about $70, and I've used it a bunch so far. And it's made me a ton of meals and made meal prep a heck of a lot easier. I also got a rapid egg cooker, and I can make, boiled eggs, hard boiled, soft boiled really quickly, 10 minutes or so, and it's a great snack, lots of protein, healthy for you. So that was another good investment. I've never been a fan of flying, but with these Bose noise canceling headphones I got, and they were pretty pricey, about $300. Flying did not tire me out because all that white noise and all that extra sensory input that I usually have on a flight was gone. You just activate noise canceling mode, and it just white noises it all, and I felt perfectly fine and refreshed after all 4 of my trips. So I'm definitely going to be taking them on future trips as well. Got some resistant bands and a ab wheel. And I always used to think that resistance bands were kind of silly and stupid, and weights were always like a better choice. But it was because I was using resistant bands wrong. And once someone showed me how to properly use them, I found out that you could get quite a good workout, and they're really lightweight, so I could take them when I travel. So now I'm using them a lot, and they're about $20. They can injure you, so you got to be careful with them. But they've been great so far. And an ab wheel, because I do planks, I do push-ups and everything. But an ab wheel really hits a lot of those ab core muscles that I wasn't quite getting. And you definitely feel it, and you definitely see the results within probably 2 to 3 weeks. Okay, so anyway, moving forward, my goals for 2019 are the following. One is to have a net worth of 175,000. I'm currently at about 130, so that's a $45,000 gain. It's going to be hard to reach, but I think I can hit it, so we'll see what happens. I want to max out my HSA, 3,500 this year. I'd like to max out my Roth like I have the past 2 years. That's 6,000 for that. And then I'd like to get about 10,000 in my 401k. I think I was a little bit shy this year, but I'm going to try harder to try to reach that goal for next year. And the reason why it's hard for me to not hit that 18 or 19,000 that it's currently at is because this is my weekend job. So it's difficult for me to earn $19,000 all in just the weekends. If it was my full-time job, definitely I would hit that. But my full-time job doesn't offer a 401k. So I have to do it through my other employer. Okay, continue to work on my minimalist lifestyle. I've made good progress. I'd say I've gotten rid of like 30% to 40% of like the stuff that I don't need or is unnecessary in my life. So I'm still working on it. I was going to make some moves today, but that didn't happen, but it will. Healthier lifestyle. I'm holding myself more accountable on working out at least 3 times a week, eating healthier, things like that. And I think this is going to be a great year for a more healthy lifestyle. Purchase a home. So I'm at about $7,000 right now. This is money that's separate from all those previous numbers you saw. This is just money dedicated to buying a house. So I'm at about $7,000 right now. I didn't put in enough of a dent in this as I wanted to this past year, but we'll see what happens in 2019. And then, of course, master's degree. So I started a master's program this past year, and the total tuition is going to cost about $15,000 over the course of 2 years, and I've currently raised about $1,500. So I do got to kind of focus on my master's degree first because my first tuition payment is in 2 weeks, and it's $2,500. So I'm currently at $1,500, so I'm going to focus on this, get that $2,500, and then I'll be able to focus on some other things. But I got a lot in the works, so we'll see how 2019 goes. And I will definitely have a mid-year review probably in June or so. So stay tuned for that. If you have any questions or suggestions or anything like that, feel free to let me know. I will try to get some more videos out there, and I'll definitely talk about tax season because I love talking about taxes and things like that. But yeah, hopefully you're all doing well. And this is the Millennial Investor signing out. Peace.